Queens, welcome. In the last video, we talked about being a people pleaser, saying no and standing on it, 10 toes down, no excuses. Today, I want to talk about the same topic, people pleasing, because if we're going to be the queen that God created us to be, we cannot be people pleasers. That's not it. Another way we as queens tend to people please is we don't have healthy boundaries. Sometimes we as queens, women, we everything to everybody all the time. And if we're not, then we feel like we're a failure. We want to give so much of ourselves at home, at work, with the kids, with your spouse, with your friends, with your man, with your parents, whoever it is. We always want to give all of ourselves. And that's a beautiful thing. That's an amazing desire. But if it's not watched, we can begin to overgive and overprovide, which can drive you crazy. On the other hand, there's some queens who have been completely closed off to others. They've been hurt too many times, done wrong over and over again, that they begin to get closed off, rigid, just don't want to deal. But queen, we have to have healthy boundaries somewhere in the middle. And yes, it can be difficult because we aren't really taught to have boundaries as children, as little girls, or our boundaries have somehow been violated. So we've learned to neglect ourselves. But queen, that changes today. We teach our young girls at DOE that you have to have boundaries in your life. And that boundary is a non-negotiable. Once you set it, that's it. It's done. So when we're young, some of us got into trouble because we didn't set boundaries for ourselves or for others. And we were taken advantage of. I don't want that for our young queens. I don't want that for any of our queens. So we've got to learn how to set boundaries, healthy boundaries. Boundaries in our relationship with our spouse, parents, children, friends, boss, work. Think about that. What's your boundaries? Boundaries on how someone can speak to you. How much are you willing to take? How far are you willing to let them go? Boundaries with your job, your boss. How much are you willing to take? How far will you let them go? Boundaries with money. How far are you willing to go? How much will you take? And see, here's the thing. You can't expect others to willingly respect your boundaries. Don't put the responsibility in their hands. It's our responsibility to respect our boundaries. It has nothing to do with them. It's all about how much are you willing to take? How far will you go? Queen, I want you to think about that. How much are you willing to take? And I'm not talking about with a stranger or somebody off the street or somebody you just met. I'm talking about with those who we are close to, children, family, parents, friends, nieces, nephews, work, boss. How much are you willing to take? Think about that. All right, queens. I'll see you on part 3. Being the queen God has created us to be.